everyone, welcome to the Pensioner Adventurer. I was working on one of my bikes the other day, and I was talking to my friend who, a fellow cyclist, and we've ridden bikes together for over 50 years. The bike I was working on, I would call a hack bike, and we during our conversation we sort of thought, well, I don't even think people even use that term nowadays. So I just thought it might be interesting to just to run you through what the concept of a hack bike was back in the 70s and maybe before, because I guess we must have learnt it from other people back in the 70s. So really, basically, a hack bike would be a single speed fixed wheel bike where you generally they would be built up from the old parts where you upgraded your other bikes, and back in the 70s there weren't mountain bikes or anything, so all we would do, or even gravel bikes, we would just ride these bikes anywhere, sort of cross country, on the road, sort of just wherever you like, down old railway lines, and just generally sort of use and abuse them. They were mainly used in the winter months, so that we'd have mud guards on and such like, but the concept was no one actually went and bought a brand new hack bike. Well, I don't think you could really, or even the components. You just always upgraded your best bikes, and then whatever was left over, that's what you used for your hack bike. So anyway, I've got my one here. Rather than ramble on, let me just show you mine, and I can let me just walk you through mine. So be back in a second. Right, there she is. So this is so I bought this frame from Pearson Cycles around about 2004, I think 2005, and it was really as a result of I had someone draw me a plan to have a frame built for me to ride on the road and also on the track, and what we sort of came to the conclusion was, although I'm not very tall, I've got really long thighs, so to get the correct position, like effectively my knee over the crank, we needed a shallow seat angle. So I had a road bike and a road frame and a track frame built for me, but I didn't want to go to the expense of having another like a winter bike one, because it was all getting a bit too expensive. And the Pearson has, if you look at so I don't know if I think I can get there. So if you look at the seat angle here, that's quite a shallow one, and the bike does have an extremely long wheelbase, unlike a track bike. So I bought the frame from those guys, and then just started to build it with various component parts. So if we look, it's a bit of an old beat up saddle. Now that used to live on my road bike, and I crashed a few times, so I'll put a new one on my road bike, so that was demoted. I think the seat pin came with the bike, with the frame, so I didn't have to, I just went with that. The cranks are old Campag Pista cranks, so they're 160s, no 165, sorry. So they're perfect, and I've got lots. They've got a 144 BCD, so I've got lots of the chain rings that fit that, because that's what we had back in those times. So again, just old cranks, so nothing new. The pedals, they are Campag Pro Fit ones. I've got those on all my bikes, so again, I try and keep the touch points the same. The saddle is I've got that saddle on most of my bikes. The handlebars, the handlebars are old Cinelli 65s. No, are they 65s or 64s? Oh yeah, 65, sorry. So Cinelli 65, so you know, again a fallback from the 70s and 80s. Old Campag brake levers, so again the ones, they've got the cables, so you can put the cables in your tape, but they're not, you know, because I've got no gears, single speed. So they're left over from many moons ago. If we go around here and we have a look at the brakes, so these are old Campag ones, I would imagine from the 70s or the 80s. I'm not sure what bike it's on. It's only undone because I'm going to take the wheels out and take the bike home. Now the hubs, so we've got, these are Campag record ones. So again, these were, I raced on these back in the day. And but what I've done is, because now on a modern bike they're a lot wider to take the multiple cassettes. You know, we used to call them blocks back then. And it was only set up to be able to have a 5-speed, I think it probably was. But these narrower hubs are the same width, I can't remember the exact size, but the same width as a track hub. So the wheels fit in perfectly, and then I've bought one of these little, you screw it on, and then that just moves over, and then you can screw your fixed cog on there. To allow you to get the correct chain line. I don't know that you can see that. So so that sort of, again, old wheels, and yeah, just giving them a new lease of life on my hack bike. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, you've got quick release wheels on a fixed wheel bike. Well, my logic there was, you know, I'm not the most powerful person in the world, and if I could climb up any hill on a road bike with these, I'm pretty certain I could. They will be fine on a fixed wheel bike. I mean, clearly you wouldn't use them on the track, and you're not allowed to either. But it was just the idea of just reusing the wheels, really, because the Campag hubs, they run as nice as you like, you know. So and when you think they're probably 40 to 50 years old. What else have we got? I tend to put, because I don't do tremendous amount of miles on this, I can generally just get away with one bottle, with some drinking, and the other one I quite like to put spare tubes and such like in, and then we got the full length pump across the top, because it just makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to spend any money on canisters if I try and have the compressed air ones and stuff like that. So and what I've done is I've added these only because I've had this bike in and I've just been giving it a bit of service for when I have my hip done. So I've added this so I can put my Garmin on the top, and we got a GoPro mount there to go on the bottom, so I can have a GoPro. So when I'm out riding, hopefully I can do a bit of filming for you. And I've also added another mount here to allow the a GoPro to be on the back. So when I'm dreaming about cycling after I've had my hip replacement, on the good days I imagine we'll be able to use the front camera as I catch someone on a climb, and then we can use the back camera to see me riding away from them. But on the bad days, when I have a bit of a lack of confidence, I imagine we're going to use a back camera to see them catch me, and then the front one will see them riding away. But I guess time will be the test on that one. I can't think of anything else really on that, but that is a concept of a hack bike. Single speed, fixed wheel. Sometimes you add free, but mainly fixed wheel, and just build up of old component parts from other bikes when you've upgraded those parts. So let's assume, so these are not, the pedals are not record ones, but if for some reason I took the record ones off another bike and I put them on and bought some different ones, I would probably put the record ones onto those ones. So it's just that concept that the hack bike just gets better, but only as a consequence of you buying parts for your best bikes. But this, you know, I would recommend this Pearson frame. It's a very comfortable ride. You know, it is a long wheelbase. It's not, you know, you have to, but it's really good. I don't believe they make them anymore, so which is a shame. I'm not sure what. I've not done any real research on what the alternatives are. So that's it, sort of from the back, pretty minimal. Yeah. So that's the story of a hack bike. So what I might do, maybe just once a month, I just have a walk through the logic of what bikes I've got and how I came about to have them configured as they are. Oh yeah, just to say, the gearing on this one's a 66-inch gear. Traditionally we used to ride those little gears, and it would, because it was all about learning to pedal really. And back in 2005 I managed to rev this thing at 197 revs per minute. It was downhill obviously, but it it just shows you, you know, the more you ride fix, the better you can get. And one of the other sort of forgotten advantages, if you rode all winter on a fixed wheel bike, what happens is when you get back on a geared bike, on your road bike, you know, as you get into spring, you just, because you're so used to pedaling everywhere all the time, because you can't not pedal, you find you pedal around corners, you pedal over the brow of hills, and it's absolutely amazing, because you start to ride away from people without even trying. So it's it's pretty interesting. So that's about it for this video. So as always, stay happy, strong and healthy, and be adventurous. Cheerio.